Welcome to Crash Reviews. My name is Crash, and this is my review for His Dark Materials Season 2, Episode 2. So, the series continues with Lyra and Mrs. Coulter arriving in London. Mrs. Coulter promising to look for Roger, have her assigning her best agents to look for Roger, things of that nature. She introduces Lyra to some of the higher culture of London versus Jordan College, where she grew up. She dazzles her a little bit with all the fancy things and everything like that. But we do see Mrs. Coulter evade a number of Lyra's questions and kind of dodge around some things and just generally get up to some fishy behavior. And I'm quite sure it's designed to make you suspicious of her. The episode didn't have a whole lot to do outside of what was going on with Lyra. It does move over to the Egyptians a little bit as they also arrive in London and search for their missing children. A number of Egyptians have come to London from different clans where they've had children kidnapped, and John Fa is introduced as the king of the Western Egyptians. And then he has a right-hand man named Farder Coram. I'm not sure if Farder is supposed to be like father or elder or something like that. I'm not sure if it's a title or if it's his name, because I believe a different name is given later in the series for a first name. But so I'm thinking Farder is a title, like father as an elder or something of that along those lines. Now, so they do search for the missing children in London, and otherwise it's mostly things going on with Lyra and Mrs. Coulter and some intrigue and drama going on there. Let's see. There is a bit of a side story with Lord Boreal. That's his name, Lord Boreal. So Lord Boreal seems to be a problem solver for the Magisterium. Not a hitman per se, but somebody who goes out and finds answers, solves problems, whatever have you, a problem solver. So we follow Lord Boreal's action a little bit, and we get a big twist that it's very hard for me not to discuss. So if you don't want to hear it, this is a good point to skip ahead a little bit, but every episode is going to touch on this. So, there's not a whole lot of avoiding it. But if you do want to preserve the surprise, this might be a good point to, skip ahead or whatever have you. So spoiler warning on this, Lord Boreal moves into our world, out of their world and into our world, and our modern world too, with cell phones and cars and everything like that. He hires a hacker to look for a long lost character who has escaped from the other world into our world, and it's some interesting development. As I understand it, in the books, this character was very, very different, and the show has brought a lot more to him and made him a much better character, and has also fleshed out his role. So in this, he's more like an inquisitor almost, and in the original books, but he was more ineffectual, at least from what I understand. Again, haven't read them, so I can't say for certain. But he's on the hunt for this guy who hops worlds like he does, and I guess it's not a common talent or ability, or very few other people know about the ability to do this. It has definitely not explained how he can do it when other people can't. But we do get a little bit of that. Lord Boreal. Let's see. There's not a whole lot else. There's a little twist at the end of the episode. Some things that make Lyra strike out on her own. So she's really only there for the one episode in Mrs. Coulter's home in London. She gets some information later in the episode that gets her to strike out on her own. And that's kind of where the episode leaves off. And it was a good episode. Some interesting character development, several interesting bits of information that got dropped. Couple that I predicted, but one or two that I didn't. I didn't expect the crossover into our world quite so soon. As I understand it, that was not done until the second book. So seeing it in the second episode of season 1 was a little interesting. But yeah, I mean, I give the episode probably about what episode 1 had, probably a C plus, a B minus at the absolute most, but probably about a C plus. Still world building, haven't really explained a whole lot yet, but we're getting introduced to more and more characters and more elements and themes of the world. And this appears that it's going to be a decently long running series, so I can imagine we're going to get some world building in the first few episodes. But yeah, until next time, I've been Crash, and this was my review for Season 1, Episode 2 of His Dark Materials. If you like this review, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload from me. And if you agree with me or have any questions, feel free to engage me down in the comments. Until next time, guys, have a great day.